What's going on, TubeU? Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gents. Today's video is going to be about all the Mopar edition vehicles from FCA, where there's Ram, Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler. There's a lot of them, all the way from 2010 to 2023, but we're going to go through all of them. We're going to, step through all the numbers and all that stuff, and just a little history on these cars, because a lot of people just now heard of these Mopar editions that Dodge just announced not too long ago for the 23 model year, and that's the first time a lot of people have heard of these things. But Dodge has been doing this since 2010, and a lot of people would like to go, oh, they're just milking it again. Oh, Mopar's been doing this since 2010. This is nothing new. They're always super limited runs, and we're going to get into all that jazz right here. So another thing to note is each year is going to be that number of car. All right, so you have your Mopar 10, your Mopar 11, Mopar 12, and that's going to be your Mopar for 2010, your Mopar for 2011, your Mopar for 2012, so on and so on. And what makes it a Mopar is a FCA-based vehicle, whether it be Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, whatever, and they take an existing vehicle and they just put Mopar parts up there. That's all it is. And then, make super limited units of it. So starting back 2010, we have your Mopar 10 Challenger. Here's a picture of it right here. Only came in black, but you can get your stripes in blue, red, or silver. And it came with a Mopar cold air intake, and I believe the horsepower was bumped up an extra 10 horsepower. Nothing crazy, nothing special. There you go. They even came with cat skin leather inside with Mopar branded seats. For Mopar 11, we got the Charger, Mopar 11 Charger. Now this one was, it seemed a little more popular to me. This is probably the one that I've seen the most on the roads, probably because it was the one that I knew about the most. And only came in black. There was no stripe color options. You only got the blue stripe. There was no other stripe options. So you got black with your blue stripe, and you got your badging, your Mopar edition badging, and there was only 1,000 units produced. And of course, it got a Mopar cold air intake to set it apart and give it an extra 10 horsepower bump over the standard 5.7. The Mopar 12 Chrysler 300 only came in black with the blue striping, had cat skin leather with your Mopar edition embroidered on the seats. No cold air intake, unfortunately, but it did get a diff switch from the 306 to 391 rear end, and there was only 500 units made. Now, I have seen about 2 of these in the wild, but at only 500 units, still super rare, but it's not the rarest on this list. You'll see in a second. Next up, we have a Mopar 13 Dodge Dart. That's right, the Dart. Here's a picture of it right here. Black with the blue stripe. You can get Mopar exhaust. It had a lower suspension. I think it was like 7 millimeters lower or something like that. Cat skin leather. And the thing that set this one apart, which I thought was pretty cool, was the driver's seat was wrapped in blue leather. The rest of the seats were black, and the driver's seat was wrapped in blue. Up to this point, there's no other Mopar edition on this list that has a blue driver's seat, which I thought was pretty cool. And I wish it would have gave you the option to do that with other Mopar editions, but whatever. That's what the Dart had. Granted, it didn't get like a cold air intake or anything, so it had to get something to stand out, right? It was only available in manual, and only 500 units were ever produced. Mopar 14. Back to the Challenger. It's a shaker Challenger this time though. We got 6 colors available: silver, white, black, plum crazy, tor red, and header orange were the 6 colors, which that is absurd. That's a lot of freaking colors. But when customers went in, out of the 100 units available, how many colors do you think they chose? They chose 2. 52 units were black and 48 units were white. No one even looked at the other colors. And of course, it comes with the shaker hood, and you get your Mopar stripe and a couple of little Mopar bits here and there. This set it apart from your standard shaker 5.7 Challenger. All right, next up we have the Mopar 15 Charger. Now this one is a little different from the rest that have been on this list. The rest on the list were all like cars that you could order, and they came with those parts. So for the 15 Charger, there are only 50 units produced, but it's not like the other Mopar editions on the list. So with this one, you could take your existing 5.7 Charger, your existing 2015 Charger, take it, you can order it, and you get the Scat Pack stage kits on it, and all it is a bunch of Mopar parts, and it was a catback, ECM, cold air intake, a front strut tower brace, and all of that bumped your horsepower up a whopping 18 horsepower. Total output was 388 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque, and the package only set you back $3,550. Yikes! All that for 18 horsepower. That's rough. It is 5.7 base, however, so you know that could explain it. And this is where it confuses people, is because those Scat Pack stages came out in 2015, so people saw that and they thought that was a Scat Pack, and of course it has RT badges on it, so it confused a lot of people right there. There's Scat Pack stages that Mopar had. I believe you had like stage 1, stage 2. I don't think there was a stage 3, but I know for a fact they had stage 1 and stage 2, and you get a little badge on the side of your car that says Scat Pack state, or it says there's a little Scat Pack B, and it says stage 1 or stage 2 based on which stage you got. And for the Mopar, this was the only year they did this. All right, so moving on, we have the Mopar 16 Ram Rebel. Only 500 units produced. This is the first truck on this list, and you can get it in a couple of colors: flame red with the black two-tone, or black monotone, so all black with the blue striping and all that jazz. And it's going to be Mopar blue with the black graphics down the side of the vehicle, and a couple other Mopar parts like fender flares and strut bars and things like that to help it stand out from, you know, just standard run-of-the-mill Ram Rebel. And like I said, only 500 units produced, so super rare. I've never seen one personally, but for those of you out there who got them, maybe chime down in the comments, let me know. I don't think I've ever seen a Ram Rebel Mopar 16 edition. Moving on, 2017, we got the Mopar 17 Challenger 392. Now this one I was aware of. This was when they were celebrating their 80 years of Mopar, not Dodge. This was the 80 years of Mopar, and so they only made 80 units of this. Now I was aware of this one. I haven't seen one in person, but I did know this one existed. You get it in two-tone color schemes, which was your pitch black with the contusion blue, or pitch black with billet silver. I've only ever seen the pictures of the contusion blue. I've never seen pictures of the billet silver one, but here's what it looks like up above. This here 392 Mopar edition got the Hellcat Challenger exhaust with the black exhaust tips. You get a Mopar cold air intake, but output somehow stayed the same at 485 horsepower, 475 pound-feet of torque. So no power bump, unfortunately, but you got a cool Mopar cold air intake, and you got a 1 of 80 unit car, which is stupid rare, and somehow not the rarest one on this list. It was available in manual only. You could not get it as an automatic, but there you go. Mopar 2017 is your Mopar 17 Challenger 392. Next up, 2018 Mopar 18 Durango 392, 250 units, octane red or B5 blue were your only two colors. No exterior SRT badging. It is a SRT vehicle, but there's no exterior SRT badging. It does have Mopar 18 badging instead of SRT, and has a Mopar exhaust and springs. That's about it for performance mods, and a couple other Mopar bits, so you know, like Mopar badging in and outside the vehicle and all that jazz to help you stand out from the crowd. But like I said, only two colors available: octane red and B5 blue. I do remember seeing this one unveiled as well, however never seen one in person. 250 units. Next up, back to the Challenger, Mopar 19 Challenger 392 again. You get this one in two colors, black or white, but they both come with the blue stripe and the Mopar badging as seen here. Only 100 units made. Mopar cold air intake and a Mopar strut tower brace are your Mopar performance parts to help you stand apart from the standard Challenger 392s, but that's no power bump or anything like that, but it was made. Probably won't see one, but they're out there. All right, moving on for 2020. We all know what happened in 2020, so I did some Googling, and I got a couple of mixed answers when I looked. So one article that I was reading about these Mopar editions, they said they didn't skip 2020, but when I Googled Mopar 2020 edition, like I did for the rest of them, the Jeep came up. Jeep Wrangler JPP edition is what they called it, and you can get it in a couple of colors, blue or white. The blue is seen here. You had 3 engine power plants. You got a 2.0 4-cylinder, which was either hybrid assisted or just a 4-cylinder alone, or you got to throw a 3-liter eco diesel V6. And that was all I could find about them, really. A whole bunch of Mopar parts, of course, to help it stand out, but I don't think there was any units ever produced. The few articles I did read with the Mopar 20, they said that they will go on sale at a later date, but I've never seen like number of units produced. Never even heard of them going on sale, nothing at all. They just said could and should arrive, orders should open around this time. Nothing about them. So if these exist, please chime down in the comments, let me know, because I've never heard of it until I had to Google it. And even the one website, like I said, they said that COVID said, nah, it's not a thing. So I don't believe they're an actual thing, but they did unveil it as an option to be released, but I don't think it was ever actually released. All right, moving on to 2021, we have your Mopar 21 Ram 1500 Mopar edition. Based on the Bighorn / Lone Star crew cab vehicles, it's powered by a 5.7, 395 horsepower, you know, whatever torque. Only 250 units produced, but came in 4 colors: silver, bright white, red, and hydro blue. Of course, what makes the Mopar edition? Tons of Mopar parts, but doesn't look like it got any type of horsepower bump, and it's super limited as well. Never seen one of these in person either, but I'm pretty sure they exist. The number of units are right there. So if you got one, chime down in the comments, let me know. Next up, closing on into the finish line, you have your Mopar 2022 Durango. Based on the 5.7 Durango RT, it comes in black or blue. No performance boosts, but you did get an SRT exhaust and SRT suspension. But still a cool looking vehicle, something to stand out. Super limited, 200 units, 50 for Canada, and super rare. Never seen them in person. Again, moving on, and we've reached the finish line. Mopar Edition 2023 is going to be your Charger and Challenger. Both of them are going to be only in black with black striping, or matte black striping, sorry. And they have blue accents, like blue brakes and blue other little pieces around the vehicle. I believe like some blue pinstriping or something like that. 440 units produced, 200 Charger, 200 Challenger. Of course, they're sending 40 units up to Canada. And because this is the last year, I'm assuming that's exactly why we got Charger and a Challenger. It's the only year you've had 2 different vehicles be the Mopar Edition. And it makes sense, you know. Obviously there wasn't going to be a 24 edition Charger or Challenger, so that's all I got for you guys, man. That's all of your Mopar edition cars: Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Chrysler, all of them right there. And yeah, it's not a new thing. Mopar's been doing this forever. A lot of people say, oh, they're milking it, they got to get one last sticker package in. Mopar's been doing this every year since 2010. This is nothing new, guys. Sorry to break it to you. So anywho, that's all I got for you guys, man. Your first time stopping by, like, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you guys see the notification when these videos go up. So go to the Instagram channel, Low Through Services Slow, all one word. I'll put it down in the description. Until next time, to view them out. Peace.